All right, please be seated. Good afternoon and welcome, everyone. I'm Fernita Tolson, Dean of the USC Gould School of Law and the Carl Mason Franklin Chair in Law. Thank you. It is my great pleasure to welcome all of you to USC Gould's historic 125th commencement ceremony. We especially want to thank the family and friends of our graduates who joined us today. To the class of 2025, let me begin by saying congratulations. This is your moment to celebrate. The entire Trojan family is incredibly proud of you. We are proud of everything that you have achieved, and you really deserve to shine on this special day. As you know firsthand, no one is born with a diploma. You have to earn it. But that said, this academic journey could not have been accomplished without the help of those in your life who mean the most to you. Some of whom are here today, some might be watching on the webcast, and some may be far away but are here with you in spirit. Your loved ones have been with you through it all. At different times, they were here to support you, to advise you, to listen to you complain, but hopefully not about your professors, right? And they put a smile on your face when you needed it the most. In a sense, this is their big day too. For all that they've done for you, graduates, I invite you to turn to your loved ones and give them a well-deserved round of applause. Okay, let's do that again. Literally turn around and thank the people back there. Thank them. All right. Commencement represents a special milestone in your academic and personal journey. Well, according to ChatGPT, right? I'm just kidding. My inspiration is not from ChatGPT, it is from coffee. But in truth, I do want to make this day special for you. It should be memorable, it should be meaningful. So what better way to accomplish that than by making this interactive? So by a show of hands, how many of you took selfies in front of Tommy Trojan? Not everybody? Okay, all right, fair enough. But how many of you know that Tommy Trojan, the statue has an inscription on its base? Show of hands. All right, so how many of you know what it actually says by memory? No? Okay, me neither, but I'll tell you. So etched on our famous Tommy Trojan statue are what we call the 5 traits of the Trojan: faithful, scholarly, skillful, courageous, and ambitious. Those traits describe you, and it describes what you have accomplished here at USC. You've been faithful. You've been supportive and caring to your colleagues, especially when they need you the most. You've been scholarly. You earned a graduate degree from a renowned law school at a world-class university. You've been skillful. You developed valuable skills in collaboration and creativity. You analyzed issues, you found solutions, and you did it the right way by working hard and being persistent. You've been courageous. Each of you faced unique challenges on the road through graduate school. Many of you had personal, family, and career obligations to balance with your studies. It took courage and resilience to get to this point. You didn't give up, and now you get to enjoy this moment. Finally, you've been ambitious. You are here today, earning your degree, because you saw an opportunity to grow and develop, and you seized it. Those 5 traits are outstanding, but I would argue that you all share one more trait in common: transformative. As graduates of USC Gould, you possess the knowledge and skills to change people's lives, to better your communities. You share the capacity for transformative impact. But equally important, through your academic commitment, you showed an openness to the idea of improving and transforming yourself. You explored new horizons and you fueled your intellectual curiosities. Please continue to embrace learning as a lifelong journey. Make the most of every opportunity to shape your future and to shape the world around you for the better. It's just what Trojans do. Okay, so that's enough for me. Let's talk about you, right? Let's talk about you. The class of 2025 is exceptional, and you guys know it, or you should know it. I, however, have the evidence to prove that you are exceptional. Our graduating students today represent 32 countries worldwide, spanning 6 continents, and we're still crossing our fingers for that student from Antarctica. They're coming, I promise. You also represent impressive professional backgrounds, from the legal practice to judicial service to roles at Fortune 500 companies and more. Today, we add nearly 400 new Trojans to the alumni network. We're proud to celebrate the graduates of our on-campus and online degree programs, including our 23rd class for the Master of Laws, our 9th class, yes, for the Masters of Studies in Law, our 9th class for the LLM in Alternative Dispute Resolution and the Master of Dispute Resolution, our 6th class for the LLM in International Business and Economic Law, our 5th class for the LLM in Privacy Law and Cybersecurity, our 4th class for the Master of International Trade Law and Economics. And to make this occasion not only memorable but historic, we are excited to celebrate our first ever class for the Master of Laws in Business Law, our first ever class for the Masters in Law in Media and Entertainment Law, and our first class for the Master of Science in Innovation Economics, Law, and Regulation. Each of you traveled a different path that led you to USC. After today, you will take the next steps forward in your life and your careers. Wherever you go, please know that we are rooting for you. We are rooting for your success. Most importantly, please remember that we will always be your Trojan family. Big things lie ahead for you in the future, and I cannot wait to hear what you do. I hope you remain an active part of the Google community, and I hope that you help to inspire future classes. Congratulations once again to the class of 2025. At this time, I am delighted to introduce our student speaker, who hails from our Master of Laws program in Privacy Law and Cybersecurity, Joanna Aurelian Tolentino Castro. Joanna is a lawyer from the Philippines with extensive experience in labor and employment law. Her career has been defined by a dedication to advocating for fair labor practices. Prior to coming to USC Gould to pursue her new passion for privacy law, cybersecurity, and the evolving role of AI in the legal field, Joanna earned her bachelor's degree in political science from the University of the Philippines, Manila, and her JD from De La Salle University College of Law. Throughout her legal career, Joanna has worked on complex workplace investigations, labor negotiations, and compliance matters. As an employee relations lawyer at China Banking Corporation, she played a key role in resolving employment disputes and helping negotiate successful collective bargaining agreements, among other contributions. She also served in private practice. Outside of work, Joanna loves animals, especially her 5 Maltese pups. Please join me in welcoming Joanna Aurelian Tolentino Castro.
Thank you very much for the introduction, Dean Tolson. Whew. Distinguished faculty, staff, honored guests, dear families and my fellow graduates, when I left the Philippines to study at USC Gould School of Law, I carried not just a suitcase, but also the weight of my family's hopes and dreams. Little did I know I was joining the Trojan family that spans every corner of the world. Whether we are attorneys or non-legal professionals, studied online, or immersed in campus life here in Los Angeles, we are united by a single purpose: to seek growth and help shape the world for the better. During our orientation, Dean Tolson welcomed us with a heartfelt message: stay connected to your loved ones, make new lifelong friends in your classes, have lots of fun and happy moments. We sure did, Dean, that make Gould feel like your home. Because it is. And that set the tone for our time here, reminding us that law school could be much, much more than rigorous coursework and exams. Throughout our journey, we shared common milestones, adjusting to a new city or time zone, the tension of our first cold call, whether in person or over Zoom, the challenges of group projects and research papers. Some of us even balanced family obligations and full-time jobs. Yet, through the stress and uncertainty, one thing remained constant: the kindness that met us at every turn. Today, we remember and appreciate the kindness that appeared in the simplest forms: a classmate whispering a clarification during a lecture, our incredibly patient professors who willingly stayed after class to address our concerns, the GNIP staff who guided us to make sure our decisions are aligned with our goals, or a friend who offered a reassuring smile. These small yet powerful acts of kindness transformed our experience and laid the foundation for the community we celebrate today. Whether we hail from across the street or across the sea, kindness transcends language, geography, and cultural differences. This kindness connects us to the Trojan values we honor. It shapes our faithfulness. It elevates our scholarship. It hones our skillfulness. It propels our courage, and it refines our ambition. As we move on to the next chapters of our careers, whether to practice law, advise entities, or innovate in fields yet to be defined, let us remember that the greatest measure of our success is how we treat others. If we hold on to the kindness that made Gould our home, we can use our collective voice as a force for good. Many of us also owe our deepest gratitude to our families, whose unwavering support reminded us that no matter how challenging the journey became, we were never alone. I am especially grateful to my parents, Papa Arlan and Mama Joan, and to my whole village, my team Castro, Tolentino, for being with me every step of the way. I am grateful to my friends. Shout out to the PLCS. And above all, I thank God, for without Him, I wouldn't be here. Congratulations, class of 2025. Thank you for teaching me the power of kindness. Wherever life leads us next, let us fight on!
What a wonderful speech, right? Let's give her another hand. That was awesome. At this time, I am excited to introduce our keynote speaker, whose distinguished record represents the commitment to public service and achievement that we seek to instill in our students. The Honorable Pateras Zilgalvis is a judge on the General Court of the European Union. He is a member of the General Court's Management Board and the Artificial Intelligence Management Board of the EU Court of Justice. Previously, he was the head of unit for digital innovation and blockchain for the European Commission's Digital Single Market Directorate. He also co-chaired the Commission's FinTech Task Force. His notable career has included roles at the Council of Europe, World Bank, and the Latvian Ministries of Environment and Foreign Affairs, among other key posts. I am delighted to share that the judge himself is a proud fellow Trojan, having received his JD from USC Gould in 1990. We clap for that, yes. And he continues to be a member of the California State Bar. He also holds a BA in political science, cum laude, from that school down the street. In addition, I kid. In addition, he has authored numerous articles and chapters of books on innovation law and policy, AI in the law, environmental law, bioethics, and EU law. Please join me in welcoming Judge Pateras Zilgalvis.
Thank you very much for this kind introduction. I'm honored to be the keynote speaker at the University of Southern California Law School's Graduate and International Programs Commencement. For reasons of brevity, I'm not going to mention all your degrees, but I can't help from expressing my enthusiasm for the broad scope of areas that you've studied in, from the very topical international trade law and economics to innovation to the very LA-appropriate Master of Laws in media and entertainment law. I also express my admiration for your commitment and motivation coming here from 32 different countries. This brings me to this great university, USC, in this dynamic metropolis of Los Angeles, in this great state of California. I hope that your years at USC Law and in this city have been as enriching for you as they were for me. I graduated with my JD in 1990, so I was working with an earlier generation of professors, as I was in an earlier generation of students, but I worked with some of the renowned professors who have raised the academic reputation of USC, like Professor Christopher Stone, who built some of the foundations of environmental law with Do Trees Have Standing. His article was quoted again just last week by the renowned barrister Philip Sands in the Financial Times. Also in international law with Professor Edwin Smith and with Professor Alexander Kapran, who in another interesting direction that your legal career can take you, I had the pleasure of collaborating with him when he was a director at the World Health Organization later, before returning to USC. The thinking of Professor Stone on having the protection of the earth for its own sake and not just in the interests of people having a right to a healthy environment, I think is becoming ever more important today. I found time, as hopefully you did, to enjoy the incredible nature of Southern California when I was here. I surfed on the USC surf team, going to places like County Line and El Porto in Manhattan Beach, where I saw both the beauty of the Pacific Ocean, but also the challenges of pollution, which continue. And also, I was one of the 4 members of the 1988 National Collegiate Team Pursuit cycling team, and we rode some of our rides from here on campus to the coast and back, so both seeing beauty and seeing challenges and destruction of the environment. It's one more of the reasons that I have a lifelong engagement in environmental law and in the environment. Of course, your memories will also be of hard work, intense study, difficult exams, and perhaps some anxiety as you awaited the results. However, that part is over, and it's now time to celebrate and then to start or return to your careers. I'll talk today about the law as a career and then of the prospect of artificial intelligence in the law. Will it replace you or not? You've chosen a rewarding and challenging profession. The practice of law has been classified since the Middle Ages as one of the learned professions. Universities like Oxford, Salamanca, Paris have started teaching in the 11th century theology, law, and medicine as the first subjects. Law was taught at Oxford and other medieval universities for 4 reasons. First of all, law isn't just a practical profession. It was essential and you could say is essential, for running both the church and state. That's, of course, a little bit going back into history. Educating lawyers meant training administrators, judges, diplomats, and clergy who could interpret and implement laws. In a world where the church and monarchs were the main sources of power, law was a vital tool. Because law was considered a higher faculty, the medieval universities were structured around three higher faculties: theology, medicine, and the law. These fields were considered more advanced than the liberal arts. Law was regarded as both intellectual and moral, requiring wisdom and ethical judgment. It was seen as a means of ordering society in alignment with divine or natural principles, to reconnect with the Roman legal traditions. This was a question of the 11th century and perhaps even today, to serve a changing society. As cities grew and commerce expanded, legal disputes became more complex. Kings, nobles, and clergies needed trained experts to draft contracts, interpret laws, and administer justice. Law became a powerful and practical subject, as well as a path to influence and wealth. So in short, law was taught already almost 900 years ago because it was necessary for governing society and managing increasingly complex human affairs, and because it was seen as being intellectually and morally serious. I think this is the case today. We can say that today law is a profession because it requires specialized education, adherence to ethical standards, a service orientation, a license, and is characterized by autonomy and self-regulation. A profession isn't just about earning money, it's about serving society. Lawyers serve clients, but also the justice system itself. That includes upholding the rule of law, ensuring fair access to justice, and defending rights, even when it's neither profitable nor popular. Lawyers are expected to exercise independent judgment, not just follow instructions of clients or authorities blindly. Lawyers have ethical obligations. You are bound by duties of honesty, confidentiality, loyalty, and representation in the interests of the client. Lawyers also benefit from social trust because they are considered to be acting in the interests of society. As former Chief Justice of the United States Supreme Court and Governor of California, Earl Warren said, "In civilized life, law floats in a sea of ethics." Nutrisco e extinguo is an inscription found in the chateau of Azay-le-Rideau, Chambord, and others in the Loire region of France. It can be translated as nourish justice and extinguish injustice. I think this is a pertinent reflection for a lawyer or a judge. I was a member of the Grand Chamber of 15 judges that decided the case Ordre Néerlandais d'Avocats du Barreau de Bruxelles in October 2024. And on the fundamental rights of access to a lawyer's legal advice, our judgment said, the fundamental role of lawyers in a state governed by the rule of law is contributing to the proper administration of justice and ensuring that clients' interests are protected and defended. Our judgment further stated on the independence of lawyers. The Court of Justice has held that the independence of lawyers is particularly important for the purpose of protecting their clients' rights to an effective remedy. The objective of representation by a lawyer consists above all of ensuring the protection and defense of the interests of the client in line with the law and professional rules and codes of conduct. The study and practice of the law is one of the most engaging and intellectually satisfying endeavors that you can aspire to. Advancement of the law academically can be complementary to practicing as a lawyer or the sole focus of your career in law. The law also applies itself to developments in the exact sciences, in medicine, in the technical sectors of the economy, giving you even more opportunities to expand your horizons. Even in challenging and turbulent times like those of today, law offers flexible and diverse opportunities to develop your careers. Practicing the law as a lawyer gives you the options to start a solo practice, to join a boutique law firm, or to practice in a big law firm. Also, in the big law firm context, you can go for the partnership track or aim for a more balanced lifestyle, for instance, prioritizing family. The flexibility of the law can also enable you to combine it with a serious engagement in sports or another endeavor that is the path, if that's the path that you want to choose. Interests in art, fashion, or literature can lead to rewarding careers in legal fields centered on creativity and intellectual property. The direction that I spent most of my time in, government, civil service, and politics, which can be either locally, nationally, or on the international level, it is also a realm in which a legal background is perhaps the most pertinent and relevant, as it was at the beginning of the study of the law in medieval times, as I mentioned. Now, for the second and final part of my speech, I'll address the question, will you be replaced by artificial intelligence? A lawyer serving in the interests of his or her client, as well as the judiciary serving its jurisdiction, society, should be innovative in developing solutions to legal questions facing them, in working in more efficient ways, and in making the best use of materials and technologies that are available. However, none of these outside factors should call the lawyers' or judges' independence or autonomy in doubt. So you should not also become dependent on a technology provider or a technology. In my case, I was elected, as it was said, to the management board of the General Court, and I'm in our AI management board. We've adopted an artificial intelligence strategy, which you can find online if you're interested, and we have just finished piloting a internally applied artificial intelligence tool based on large language models. In the Court of Justice, we have a particular use and need for AI because we work in French between the judges, but we have 24 languages of procedure, and unfortunately not all of us speak 24 languages, or factually, none of us speak 24 languages. Translation, interpretation, metadata, and legal research utilizing AI, often in multiple languages, are very promising applications for us. I emphasize that we should make use of the tool. We should be managing artificial intelligence, or else it will be managing us. The question remains whether AI will replace us, lawyers or judges, in the near or more distant future. But I would repeat that the practice of law is a profession, and therefore more than the mechanical application of rules. It's a vocation, and a forward-looking one at that. The law and case law implementing it should allow society to progress and for us to become our better selves, not to infinitely loop back and forth the data and the decisions of the past. We also need to avoid reverse adaptation, where we start writing and reasoning in a way that is easier for AI to process or understand, rather than in ways that are easier for people to understand, or that are richer or more elegant ways of expressing ourselves. I think that it is essential that a lawyer assisting a client or a judge deciding a case are people who have life experiences in our societies and in our economies, however subjective that may be, because it assists them in applying the law and facts to specific people and specific companies. We also need to be able to explain the logic behind advice that we give to a client or a judgment by a court, because the machine said so is never going to be a satisfactory answer. So to conclude, innovating in the law and using technology is essential for practitioners of the law, but the human element, I think, will become even more important to distinguish our profession from mechanistic offers on the market. I congratulate you today on this day of great achievement and your rewarding, fulfilling careers and lives, in which the degrees that you are receiving today will provide the foundation for achievement, self-realization, and helping others.
One more time for our keynote. Thank you so much. It is now my pleasure to introduce Associate Dean Misa Shimotsu. Dean Shimotsu manages the operations of our LLM program, as well as our graduate and international degree and non-degree programs. Dean Shimotsu will acknowledge the degrees that each of you has earned.
Thank you, Dean Tolson. Graduates, please stand. On behalf of the faculty and administration of the Gould School of Law, we acknowledge the degree conferred upon you by the University of Southern California. Congratulations, graduates. And you may be seated.
It's time. All right, members of our staff, I ask that you please take your places and we will begin the procession. Graduates, each of you will come to the stage to get your diploma. We will be conferring the following degrees: our Master of Laws, our Master of Laws in Alternative Dispute Resolution, our Masters of Laws in Business Law, our Masters of Laws in International Business and Economic Law, our Masters of Laws in Media and Entertainment Law, our Masters of Laws in Privacy Law and Cybersecurity, our Masters of Studies in Law, our Masters of Dispute Resolution, our Masters of International Trade Law and Economics, and the Master of Science and Innovation Economics, Law and Regulation.
Jing Bin Hao Wu, Yida Wang, Shaoli Ren, Bakr Al-Hayari, Mohammed Ali Chiman, Faisal Abdulaziz Al-Rabia, Mohammed Al-Masood, Ziad Ahmed Abu Abba, Abdul Rahman Ibrahim Al-Said, Abdul Rahman Ahmed Al-Khalaf, Abdul Rahman Al-Masood, Ibrahim Hamad Al-Hikmah, Abdul Rahman Al-Sulaim, Mohammed Al-Sabiyeh, Faisal Alisa, Sarah Shu, Yevgenia Skovinskaya, Hatice Akal, Jiaqian Liu, Chu Hangdu, Jia Wei Lin, Gao Runxi San, Yang Liu, Jia Yiti, Yishuan Li, Reina Uno, Yuka Yamano, Shikako Koyama, Hiroyasu Hattori, Nobutaka Hayashi, Ryuji Hatsuki, Liana Vagradian, Ellen Hakobian, Xinyan Yu, Banke Guo, Sainan Wang, Wei Fu, Hao Liu, Fatma Sirin Octogon, Tim Locard, Yi Yang Cao, Yinuo Wang, Peng An Yao, Yi Heng Zhang, Lei Xie, Ruixian Zhou, Dan Wang, Rosalie Barameda Watkin, Mark Stephen Co-Pastor, Yun Peng Chu, Yunju Huang, Ting Yun Liao, Chia Suan Li, Kong Chen, Yi Ting Xu, Mei Xuan Wu, Qinggren Zhao, Xiaoming Guo, Lufan He, Tianqing Lu, Ximan Xu, Qingyang Dai, Ziling Su, Jingwen Ouyang, Siji Fan, Hua Zheng, Christopher Estupinan, Hui Tingyu, Xuan Zhang, Ruoyan Xu, Tianji Zhou, Rinlapat Inupat, Ruiking Wang, Yushi Han, Fang Shuan Liu, Wen Tao Ji, Yang Ji, Hao Jiang, Zhen Mao Zhao, Guanshu Chen, CJ Tu, Yi Yang, Pei Pei Li, Rui Hu Zhao, Ruochen Zhang, Chu Han Jin, Tianai Chao, Xin Xin Zhang, Miao Xuan Zhang, Jiyeli San, Wenqing Lu, Bolun Wu, Rui Yi Li, Yingying Zhang, Yihan Zhou, Wei Yun Keng, Hen Fei Gao, Yu Meng Zheng, Ying Qin Zhu, Jingxin Fan, Zhi Cheng Chang, Yue Yang Hui, Tao Sui, Wen Rui Dai, Jiaxian Li, Shi Tongyin, Yu Hao Yan, Zichun Zhao, Hui Ji Ji, Jia Li, Joel Isaac Rodriguez Mercado, Yash Kumar, Chiawei Chang, Jiwon Ko, Bo Chul Park, Chia Chi Su, Nairi Acopian, Maria Aurora Oseguera Cervantes, Tigran Abrahamian, Mitesh Guyan Chandani, Anahit Bagdasarian, Maria Alejandra Diaz, Serhii Jerebtsov, Ventura Briones Navarro, Gokje Karadan, Emmeline Potier, Irmak Koç Yildiz, Catarina Roberta Mouzinho de Matos, Natalia Salim de Souza, Luis Fernando S. Cardinali, Amy Michelle Fafalios, Lina Salem M. Albarakati, Yasmin Montenegro, Hong Ying Pung, Asma Alotaibi, Lu Jane Yusuf Al Subayil, YZ Leong, Cheongju, Si Chi Chu, Yihan Wang, Noel Maria Santos Riley, Yushuan Liu, Jinglin Zhang, Yuqing Chen, Xie Yun Zhang, Kijia Li, Li Shen Tao, Yilin Wang, Wenjuo Zhong, Yifan Ma, Yunfan Li, Xia San, Jia Yue Wu, Yuhan Zhang, Yi Chen, Qianxie Sun, Cheng Chen, Isabella Teresa Martin, Stevie Jane O'Larenshaw, Yuto Hirasawa, Lingchen Yu, Oganes Sarkisian, Su Quan Kang, Yongchol Zhang, Song Chul Yu, Hyonic Lee, Tai Yun Kim, Hak Jun Lee, Sung Hoon Kim, Eun Kyu Lee, Yoon Ji Lee, En Su, Yu Chen Jiang, Lei Ning Huang, Ke Han Shu, Ye Yun Wu, Zhuo Wang, Cheng Zhang, Xin Yi Wang, Tian Chen, 洪友让 Bola Park 田家小小伊利新岩谷陈玉六灵儿站朱汉草曲树叶继亮程路Zayuwu Zihenglo Yu Zexing Mingyu Liu Xinye Yang 飞飞舞 Yufan Liu 小金香许多处金游州葱炒英城丁王美岐山纪文业运气呀沙山有啊学远航 U Raphael Otto 一航哈 Adriano De Marchi Rossetto Naif Rashid 小鹰探 Zijin Zhang 嘉永章金城虎 Jun Yu Yu 肖延章 铁一照 Abdullah Al-Mackenzie 윤지六 Andrei Mogilny Alejandra Yalitza Garza Diu Huang Chen Zhang 杰以上 海星站 Alea Noyadera Angela Marie Hernandez Samantha Sanchez Gomez Tiffany George Anna Hall Layli Mokhtari. Yu Ting Chang. Qingzhu Zhang. Abdullah Fahad Almadi. Israel Ilyaskaji. Mohammed Al-Roqi. Jana Dudpayeva. Nabil Samiaji Bremi, SH. Yinzhen Liu. Zhu Zhang. Sheiyu Liu. Mingjun Guo. Xingchen Shang. Cheng Yuan Kevin Yang. Bruna Mendez. Le Yao Liang. Yi Cheng. Tong Jiang. Ying Ying Jiang. Haixin Pei. Zhangke Liu. Momin Mahmoud Elaithi. Muwath Aldukail. Jason Baden. Elham Elliot Pourmond. Yesol Min. Sakshi Shedbal. Sarah Al-Subai. Julian Win. Khaldun Sethi. Tahira Sethi. Jean Mendonça. Davish Diman. Deepali Shah. Avani Shine. Anmol Kulhari. Sabil T. Man. Zuyuel Leo. Lu Yao Han. Zihao Li. Jibing Yang. Jia Yizhang. Cheng Zhou. Rosen Yongshuan Guan. Chloe Robian. Benjamin Lee. Bridget Brumbaugh. Mohammed Youssef Al-Radadi. Hamoud Alufi. Ryan Turki Al-Hajri. Anita Osiagu. River Chen. Yi Li. Guanglin. Janet Horan. Ria Avargarimath. Yao Jui Wang. Meng Qi Sheng. Siru Tan. Michelle Yuan. Kirti Manoharan. Micaela Ledesma de Guzman. Farah Nida Pahlawan. Yui Jian Tang. Yu Wu. Ping Gong. Rang Suan Li. Xinhie Wang. Caroline Garcia Kersting da Silva. Lucy Achia Apea. Meekness Onyedikachi Ike. Chidinma Ellen Intiwunka. Arisara Glanketkit. Dominic Wong. Jia Shundong. Jiao Rongzhang. Monique Mag Bujos Baelo. Mane Araevna Khachatrian. Angelica Elvira Reyes. Tanya Mahmane Shrad. Kelly Rad. Alexis Berry. Julianne Hua. Gabriela Lubrano. Maria Guadalupe Lopez. Alex Martinez. Damon Dokani. Khalid Al-Hagbani. Lourdes Medina. Melanie Monges. Kimberly Gonzaga Duval. Rebecca Christopoulos. Jordan Nicole McFeely. Courtney Mackenzie Corin. Emmy Lynn Drake. Randall Ong. Scott Cox. John Elliott McAndrew. Amina Kashmira Carter. Fernando Daniel Archuleta. Melvin Aquino Jr. Ashley Marie Fracalossi. Alexandra K. Vander Hayden. Jordan Gifford Edmonds. Katrina Marie West. Christiana Lynn Main. Matthew Gregory Fye. Nicholas Andrew Bennett. David Ali Villalva. Sally Bachori. Sana Ahmad. Florisca Mogote Diaz. Chetan Bandari. Jonathan James Metcalf. Justice Ugochi Obunamiri. Annette Marie Laforge. Crystal Thomas Lipa. Lisbeth Hernandez Ramos. Stephanie Lamb. Amanda Tan Murphy. Caroline Rose Stewart. Mario Lopez. Anastasia Slivka. Atia Burgos. Trina Vo. Anna K. Hoy. Oren Ozunian. Roderick Shakurian. Verzina Maslakian. Mariam Movsesian. Michelle Baker. Eunice Liliana Bautista. Radman Niven. Hagar Adib. Ethan Huang. Teresa Anguiano. Alexandra Livaniu. Idalia Rosali Lubin. Darian Ahmadizadeh. Lydia Ann Mackey. Gavin Grant Murillo. Jeremy Dawson. Vincent Eric Young. Victor Yi. Brooke Elizabeth Bauer. Joshua Emmanuel Jones. Alejandro Javier Briceno. Samuel Wendt. Deborah Debbie Javio Dueñas. Nicholas Angel de la Torre. Olivia Mata. Justina Malti. Shala Jackson. Robin Denise Jackson. Sharona Mary Moshabad. Jennifer Garcia. Robert Westfall. Shudan Wang. Kendrick Tan. Alice Nicole Vasquez Bautista. Joanna Genesis Paredes. Brijesh Pinto. Fabian Emesiani. Mariah Isabel Ajanel.
Brayandra Mitchell.
And last but not least, we have one more master. I didn't forget her. We have one more Master of Law in Privacy and Cybersecurity degree to confer, Joanna Arlen Tolatino Castro. To all of our guests here in person and online, it gives me great pride, and indeed it is my privilege, to introduce the USC Gould School of Law, class of 2025.